Well, they're going to lose a customer in Huawei for sure. So anybody who's exposed there, this is going to change things. Huawei, we've cut off. We won't buy their stuff, but Huawei is making their own chips now from another route. They have an internal semiconductor company called HiSilicon. And then they go to TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation, to make it. And what happened today is that path, which is all offshore, got cut off. And what the government said is that if you make chips anywhere in the world using American equipment, which everybody does, Applied Materials, Lam, etc., or if you use American software on the chips, or if you design the chips with American software, all of which are the only way to do it, because that, in effect, is the infrastructure of semiconductors, then you can't ship to Huawei, and we'll make your life miserable if you try. It's DEFCON 5. It's real.
Was it warranted, TJ, when we talk about things, even if this isn't the ideal remedy, do you think that Huawei steals American IP? Do you agree with that assessment?
I don't know. But I do know some things, and you can make a conclusion based on that. One, it's a company which is 1% owned by a single man. The other 99% are owned by a union, which gives phantom stock to the other 99% to the employees. So we're led to believe it's an employee-owned company. That, of course, is dubious. It hasn't reported, so it doesn't have the scrutiny public companies face all the time. And the question is, do you want to take a company like that in a place like China and cause the data streams of your major corporations to run through their equipment? And my personal opinion is no, you don't want to do that. We should cut them off.
The move also hits Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, biggest contract chip maker, who announced late yesterday that they're going to be opening a new U.S. plant. What's the significance of that? Well,
speculate what's happening behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, TSMC is becoming successful. They are challenging Intel successfully, making the very highest end, smallest geometry chips. And my guess is, if you don't want, the word to them is, if you don't want trouble, you need to start making some of your chips in the U.S. So they're putting a factory in the U.S. Now. I mean, that's kind of like what the Chinese do to us. Now, this case is Taiwan. But it's fair, really. I mean, who started TSMC? Don Brooks and Morris Chang. And where'd they come from? They came from TI. They were big guys at TI, and they thought they could go do better in Taiwan, and they have done a great job. But again, it's a reflection of the American technology of semiconductors, Moore's Law, and the infrastructure we've created, creating offshore wealth. And in this case, they're a friendly company, and we said, hey, look, we want you to manufacture here. Just like car companies have to manufacture where they sell their cars. It's not unreasonable.
So TJ, I'm confused as to what your conclusion is, describing the move as DEFCON 5 at the start of this interview, as if the pain is just going to be indescribable for U.S. corporations that would be selling to Huawei, at the same time saying that we do need to cut ourselves off from Huawei. So you support this move or not?
For a free trader, and I am that, and I may be a traitor to the philosophy of free trade, I support it. I don't think it's going to be a devastating move for American companies. I think it's going to, when I say DEFCON 5, I mean Huawei is going to hurt. They don't have, what they have done is they've made cell phones, and they make, something like $60 billion a year cell phones. They make 56 million in Q4 cell phones. Apple made 72. So they're big, and it matters, and it's billions of dollars. And what's happened is they're using a lot of American technology, not just cell phone technology on the chipset that goes in the cell phone, but American technology to make machines that make the wafers, American technology to design chips that are so complex that one chip today equals all the electronics that existed in the world in World War II. So they're using a lot of our technology, and they have been declared persona non grata by the government, so they're getting cut off from that technology. Now, again, whoever sells to Huawei, and there are American companies that sell to Huawei, is going to lose a customer. But I don't think they're going to lose the customer. If you think about it, if Huawei buys some chips from somebody else, then an American company will lose that chip customer. On the other hand, if Huawei can't buy their chips from anybody else because nobody else can make them, then the American companies will have to buy, will have to sell extra chips to make up for the shortfall that's going to Huawei. That is, some other cell phone maker, Apple or somebody else, will make those phones rather than Huawei. So I don't even think it's a disaster for American firms.
TJ Rodgers, great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.